All right, missed a few days, or I didn't miss a few days. I was just kind of doing this over the weekend. Didn't stream it, but back now on day 20. What did we do in the last few lessons? Did for loops, while loops, and created like some. What did we create? Created a few games, guess the number, um, guess the song, or finish the song lyric. So yeah, and now we're playing around with ranges in while loops. So let's keep going.
Day 20. You can count upwards in single digits of the for loop, but that's not exactly rocking your world. Let's see what that range function can do with a little bit of tweaking. So, we've used the cheat version of the range function so far. Give it one number and it will count up to that number. You can actually give the range function a few different options: a starting value, the ending value, and even the increments that we're going to move each time the loop changes. And this gives us massive flexibility. Let's see how it works. Okay, so here we've got a really simple program, just like before, to count upwards in ones, but this time I've set a starting value. Look at those brackets. We've got two arguments now separated by commas, as we've seen before. The first argument is the starting value. This is literally what it begins at. The second argument is our final value, just like we've used before. And remember, it doesn't quite go up to that number. There's an implicit less than symbol before that, so it stops one before that second number. And let's see what happens. Well, I've started at 100 and counted until just before 110, so it stops at 109. This is great because when I was doing my day counter previously, I was having this problem. It was starting counting at day 0, and nobody in the human world really says day 0. We'd start with day 1. Well, using our new method, I can change that range function to start at 1. It's now only getting to day 6 though, so what else do I need to change? Well, it's that upper bound. Remembering that there's an implicit less than, I always need to go one more than where I want to end up. Now, I've got 7 days being added and shown on the screen in a loop. So that functionality gives me a bit more control over my loop. So here's a program that calculates and prints out the 13 times table. It's very, very similar to what we've got before. You'll see that it starts at 1 times 13 and ends at 12 times 13, giving us a times table that we might want to work with. But there are more options. Let's see what they are. The range function has a secret third option as well. The third option is the size of the increment. So how much should it increase by every time it loops? In this example here, I'm going to count between the numbers 0 and to just under a million, going up in 25s. So basically, I'm showing you the 25 times table here. Let's run it and see what we get. So you can see there that it's adding 25 each time. It's actually going through the entire looping, but only showing me every 25. And there we go, finishing the increment before 1 million. Now, this also gives me the power to do something really, really cool. This piece of code counts down backwards from 10 to 0. And how does it do that? Well, I've got my starting point. We're going to...
Wait, why is this? Why is it starting at this number?
start at 10. This piece of code before 1 million. Now, this also gives me the power to do something really, really cool. This piece of code counts down backwards from 10 to 0. And how does it do that? Well, I've got my starting point. We're going to start at 10. My ending point, which is always going to be 1 in the opposite direction from where it ends. So we're going to end at 0, meaning it's going to stop at 1. The increment is -1. That means it's going to go down each time. If I run it, I get a very simple countdown system. Now, pause the video in a moment and go and build those things. Go and try them out. Mess around with that range function, see what it does. Change the 3 values. But remembering that if you only put 1 value in, that's the upper limit. If you put 2 values in, the first one is the starting value, the second one is the upper limit. If you put 3 values in, the first one is the starting value, second one's your upper limit, and your third one is the size of the increment, how much it's going to change by each time it goes through the loop. And that is what gives you the superpower with the range function. When you start messing with the range function a bit more, you hit some common problems. Here's one. We are starting with a loop that should start at 10 and go until 0. But why does it do nothing? Pause the video, try the code for yourself, and see what you can do to fix it. Did you notice what was missing? Yes, that third value in the range function for the increment, which should be a -1 to go backwards. Without that, it uses the default, and the default is +1. So what we've said, start at 10, keep going until 0, going up 1 at a time. And of course, if you add 1 to 10, you get 11. So the for loop has just gone, nah mate, I'm not doing it. By adding the third option to tell it how much to change each time, we get our program back. I've put some damaged code that I'd like you to go and debug for me. Pause the video and see what you can do with that.
Delete any other, yep, copy each one. Fix the error, please press run. Are you free to click that? Alright, what is the issue here? Okay, so first, what are we trying to do here? While I in range 20, so upper is 20, no, yeah, upper is 20. What are you trying to do here? You're trying to go from 20 to 40, but it looks like it's backwards. I is not defined. While I is in range. Should this be 40, 20? No. Oh, 4. For I in range. What's going on? There we go. This doesn't do anything though. Oh, I mean, how are we supposed to know what you're wanting to do? Like, are you trying to count down or count up? Sure, count up.
Okay, here's your challenge. I would like you to use the for loop and all the power of the range function to ask your user what number to start with, what number to end with, and what increment to have. And I'd like you to be able to display a list of numbers, ideally all in different colors. You can do that. But with inputs taken from the range function. Okay, here's your challenge. I would like you to use the for loop and all the power of the range function to ask your user what number to start with, what number to end with, and what increment to have. And I'd like you to be able to display a list of numbers, ideally all in different colors. You can do that. But with inputs taken from the user through the input
Wait,
command.
with different colors?
Let's see how you
What?
work with that. Number to end with, and what increment to have. And I'd like you to be able to display a list of numbers, ideally all in different colors. You can do that. But with inputs taken from the user through the input command. Let's see how you work with that.
Okay. So ask the user upper, let's just call it max equals input, what number do you want to start with? Max min equals input. What number do you want to end with? And then what does he call this? The increment. What increment? What increment do you want to apply? Okay. Let's go 100. Whoops. Let's go 100. What number do you want to end with? Let's say 200. Let's go 10. Oh! Line 5 cannot be interpreted as an int. String object cannot be interpreted as an integer. Okay, so then we just do this. Int. Int dot, I think, int 100, 210. Yeah. Let's do this. Give a space. Print. Here is your list. 100, 200, 10. Wait. Let's look at the answer. Okay, print welcome. We didn't do that. Print, you're going to KKK. X, int, input, what is the number you want to start with? I just gave it a min. Y, what do you want to end with? Cool. Z, yeah, what's the increment? 4i. Okay, that was pretty simple. Mark lesson complete. Let's do one more. That just took 20 minutes. Throw it back to math facts. Create a game to test your friends' knowledge on their math facts. Sure. Boot it up. Boot it up. Let's go. Test your family and friends on their multiplication. Let's go.
It's day 21, and we are going to be building a fantastic game, fun for all the family, where you test their ability to work out a multiplication table. Today's challenge is a bit of a fun one. You're going to build your own math game. It is going to prompt the user to ask them for a multiplication table. And this can be any number they give you. You're then going to generate the multiplication table for 1 to 10 times that number, and you are going to ask it as questions. If the user gets the answer correct, table, or going to prompt the user to ask them for a multiplication table. And this can be any number they give you. You're then going to generate the multiplication table for 1 to 10 times that number, and you are going to ask it as questions. If the user gets the answer correct, they're going to get 1 point. If they get it wrong, they are going to get no extra points and be told what the correct answer is. At the end of the 10 rounds, they're going to have a score given to them out of 10. If they've got 10 out of 10, why not display a bunch of emojis to them to congratulate them? This is the sort of program that can be used to help young relatives learning their multiplication tables, or just be really, really mean to other people you know by asking them to work out the multiplication tables of a number like 4,074,000,074.
Okay, there's like multiple parts here.
When you're done, share it with us in the community. Use the hashtag Replit100daysofcode and let us try your game out. Day 22 tomorrow, and we're going to learn a brand new skill which allows us to not write quite as much code anymore. We're going to be importing libraries.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna take this one slow. Okay, test your family friends with their multiplication knowledge, or just be really mean to okay. Prompt the user by asking for a multiplication table for the in number of their choice. Generate the multiplication table for 1 to 10 times that number, and ask each math fact as a question. Okay. Let's just start here. Multiplication. So multiple. Let's just go x equals int input. What number do you want to practice your times table? This is in English. Okay. So then for I in to 10. So how do we do this? Let's go 1, comma 10, comma 1, right? Print I, comma, what? Oh, times 7, I times X. Oh shit. Equals. Oh shit. Equals. Okay, let's just do multiplied by X equals I times X. Let's just do 2. So we should see 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 times 2. Let's see. Okay. Good start. But we want to get it to 10, so we want to put this to 11. Okay. Okay, what number? Let's just make this shorter. Pick a number to practice your times table. Let's play math game. Pick a number to practice your times table. 2. Okay, now we don't want to print this. Okay. We don't necessarily want to print that. Let's just do it again though. I'm getting super repetitive. Oh, let's... Okay. 2. Okay. Prompt these by asking for multiplication. Generate the multiplication table for 1 to 10 times that number and ask each math fact as a question. Ask each math fact as a question. Okay. So print question equals int input what is I multiplied by X. Question equals int. Oh. Done. Nope. 2. Okay, what is that? I'm doing this so wrong. I might have to look at the code here. Oh. Name your multiples. Oh, I'm gonna look at this and be like, why didn't... Wait, are we asking these questions? What is I multiplied by X? Line 6, question is input expected at most 1 argument. Got 5. Hence, use a variable when asking the user what multiplication fact they want to solve. Within the for loop, set up a variable, input statement, and if statements. Yeah. Don't forget to include your counter and an if statement to say when to give a perfect score emoji. I'm getting stuck on the questions. I'm gonna have to cheat. How do we do this? Okay, this is gonna count. Fact family. Input, name your multiple. Okay. For I in range 1 to 11. Got 1. Correct answer equals I times correct answer equals I times fact family 7. So 1 times 7. Okay, we're gonna loop through. Print 1 times fact family answer. Oh, times fact. Okay, answer equals int input. Okay. If answer equals correct answer, print you got it right, counter plus equals 1. Okay, else print that's not correct. It should have been correct answer. Else print you got counter. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to say I couldn't have done that, but I didn't do it, is the right way to put it. Okay, so correct answer. Okay, let me close this. X. So now we need to create a variable. Yeah, so correct answer equals. I'll figure this out later. When do we do the equals? If answer, that's right, if statements. Okay. So, correct answer is 1, so I times X. That's the correct answer. Print, wait. I don't understand. See, this is why I'm trying to put this in one variable. Okay, I'm gonna do it how I'm thinking about it. So I would do answer why does answer look so weird? Answer equals int input, and then I would do I times x I times x. Shit, I don't think it's gonna work. I times x. Okay, now if answer equals correct answer, print. Oh, I also gotta do this. What the fudge? Enter. I don't know why I see that. Count equals 0. Print. That's correct. And then we do count plus equals 1. Else we want to print no. The correct answer is correct answer. Okay. And then I'm forgetting how to do the, so this is out. So this is out of, okay. So once they're done, now we're out of the for loop. Now we're doing, okay, now we're doing an if the counter equals 10, print, you got a perfect score. Else print thanks for playing. You got a counter out of, you got blank out of 10 questions correct. Oh, let's go 5. Oh, 8. Okay. So this is where I need to learn. So the answer needs to be the integer alone. So this is where I would have screwed up. So this is where, let's close this. So this is where we would do correct answers. So then we print I times or multiplied by x answer equals int input. That should do it, right? 5. 1 multiplied by 5. Let's just do 5. That's correct. Why am I doing that's correct? Okay, so let's just do 20 here. That's incorrect. No, the correct answer is 15. 4 multiplied by 20, 25, 30, 35. Let's just do 35 again. 45, 50. That's correct. The counter is not defined. What? Oh, I did count. Darn it. Okay, let's just make this shorter. 5, 10. Let's just get one wrong. 10. Another correct answer. 4 multiplied by 5. That is 20. That's correct. Oh, count here. Make this even shorter. Oh my gosh. Okay, 5. 5, 10. Thanks for playing. You got 2 out of 10 questions correct. Wait, what? Okay, counter equals 2. 5. 5, 10. That's great. You got a perfect score. Cool. 5, 5, 5. No, thanks for playing. You got a 1 out of 10 questions correct. 1 out of... okay. I know what I did. All right. I didn't get this on my own, but I learned... I don't know why they say no peeking. Like half the time I'm writing SQL queries for work, I'm looking up how to do shit on Stack Overflow. So I understand when I see it, I guess. Like putting this from scratch, I guess I'm not there yet, obviously. But I understand what it's saying. So this will be 1, and then 2, answer equals int input. Yeah, okay, so you can't loop through a question. I guess what I do get confused is like continue in breaks. I need to redo those ones. All right, that was good. Mark lesson complete. I'm gonna call it. I'm tired. I'm tired and I have other things to do. All right, peace.